Harry Bernstein, did you know that 1 in 3 adults are either overweight or obese, and teenagers today are more overweight than ever before? Well, today we're going to talk about losing weight the proper way and good eating with registered dietitian and nutritionist Lorraine Matthews-Antosiewicz, whose office is over on May Street in Edison. Her website is njnutritionist.com. Lorraine, welcome to the show.
Thanks,
Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Lorraine, why eat good and why should we lose weight?
It's all about quality of life, Harry. Health is important. Feeling good is important. Liking the way you look. Quality of life will greatly improve if you're a healthy weight and you feel good about it.
Now, I understand that you have a 7-step program or a plan for how to lose weight properly, and why don't we go through those steps? Step number 1 is to make a commitment. Talk about that.
Sure. So, as we know, weight loss is extremely difficult, and if a person has a commitment, they're much more likely to succeed. At least that's what I find in my practice, that it doesn't really matter why you're committing. There's so many reasons why a person can want to lose weight, as long as it's important enough to you that you can stay committed to it. And honestly, you could have tried and failed so many times before. It only takes one time to succeed. So find something that's important to you, whether it's your health or the way you feel or how you look. It doesn't really matter. Just find something that's important to you and stay committed. Those are the people who tend to be more successful.
Should you write the commitment down somewhere?
It's helpful to do that. It's helpful to say it out loud, to tell people around you who are supportive, to work with a health coach, a registered dietitian, or just someone that is supportive of you, and they know that you're committed and will be supportive of that commitment.
Sounds good. Step number 2, you say, is set realistic goals. What's that all about?
So everybody wants big weight loss, quick and easy, and sadly that just doesn't exist. Unfortunately, Mother Nature never made a human body that could lose weight quite as quickly as we'd all like to. I think setting realistic goals will help you succeed. And for women, something like 2 to 4 pounds a month. For men, 4 to 8 pounds a month. Diets promise big, quick, easy, and it's just...
So it's better to lose a little bit over a period of time than some crash diet.
Because they don't work, and they don't last, and they're unhealthy. And if you think about it this way, if a person loses 1 pound a week for a year, they're going to find themselves 50 pounds lighter, and that's not a bad place to be. Yeah. And if you have a commitment, then that 50 pounds will stay off.
Your step 3 is plan for positive eating. What do you mean positive eating?
So diets are, in my opinion, all about deprivation, and nobody likes to feel deprived. I think that's one of the main reasons why people tend to be on a diet for a short period of time and then just kind of, you know, be off, on, off, that cycle that just gets you nowhere. So rather than focusing on what you shouldn't do and what you can eat, focus on what's good for you and what you should eat. So following a plan where you're spreading your food out over the course of the whole day, eating small meals frequently, focusing on eating foods that are high in fiber and high in healthy fats, drinking plenty of water throughout the day, making your plate very colorful with lots of different fruits and vegetables. These are all really positive things that you can do rather than thinking about what you can't have and end up feeling deprived.
And parents should also, when they're serving their teenagers and their younger kids, they should talk up the vegetables as being very good. I mean, some parents sometimes, I'm sure we've all done this, well, if you eat your broccoli, you can have some ice cream later.
Right.
And that's offering a sweet, making it look better than the broccoli. We should really talk up how wonderful the vegetables are, right?
Parents need to be a good role model first and foremost. It's very difficult when a parent tells their child to eat this, but then they don't do it themselves. So, you know, as a parent, it's your job. Be a good role model. It's your job to purchase the good foods and prepare the good foods and serve the good foods. And really, it is up to the child whether they're going to what they choose to eat. But being a good role model will help them see.
That'll help.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, your 4th step is include exercise. Of course, we've heard about that, but a lot of times we get older, we don't exercise as much as we used to, and with computers, we're sitting at longer periods of time. Why is exercise so important to a good, healthy lifestyle and losing weight?
When I think about exercise, actually when I think about weight management or weight loss, I think of it as a two-piece puzzle. There's the food piece and there's the physical activity piece. And one without the other is going to make it very difficult for a person to accomplish their goals. We need to be doing both of those things. And oftentimes I'll hear people say, well, let me lose weight first and then I'll start to exercise. And that's really backwards thinking.
Is walking enough?
It's plenty. It's plenty. I think to set goals that are too lofty will just set you up for failure. You should start where you're at. And if you're unfit, out of shape, and you've not been exercising, do 5 minutes a day. It doesn't really matter where you start. What matters is that you continue. And you know, the saying goes, just do it. Try to find something that's fun for you to make it enjoyable, but the bottom line is it doesn't have to necessarily be fun. You don't have to love it, you just have to do it. And it will definitely support your weight loss.
Okay. Now your next step says to track your progress. Why is it important to write everything down?
Awareness is the key to change, and that's what tracking does for you. It helps you become aware of patterns, things you may not be doing that would be helpful, things that you are doing that are working against you that you just might not think about. If you're writing it down, you have it right there in black and white, and you can see from day to day what it is that's working for you.
You're more likely to stay with it if you see it and you're participating in writing down the good things you did.
That's right, and it doesn't need to be any particular formal way of doing it. There's smartphones nowadays have plenty of free apps that people can use to track what they're eating, what their exercise is.
Oh, really?
You can do it in a journal, you can do it on a piece of paper. That's what I have my clients do, and I actually ask them to bring the records with them so that we can sit together and go over them and tweak them if necessary. Because if you're striving for balance, and you're not writing down what you're doing every day with regard to the food groups you're choosing from, you may not be balanced in your eating. The other part about that is portion sizes. And if you track your portion sizes, well, then you're going to be able to see, gee, maybe I'm overeating 100 calories or so a day that I really wasn't thinking about.
And eat slower, too, right? I watched people at the Thanksgiving table inhale this giant plate of food, and they're not eating slowly. They didn't even enjoy it. And they went back for seconds.
That's a really good point.
I'm trying to eat slowly and with my smaller portions. And
right, because then you will feel more satisfied. The other part of eating slowly is that it does take time for a full stomach to send a message up to the appetite center in the brain, I've had enough, I'm done. And if you eat too quickly, you're going back for seconds or even thirds before you feel full.
Ah, good point, good point. All right, your next step is to rebound quickly. What does that mean?
Right, so again, weight management is very difficult and people make mistakes at times and you have a setback, and if you let it go and you don't attend to it quickly, chances are you might not attend to it and then your efforts are all wasted. So, you know, if you make a mistake, just think about it this way. One bad meal or one bad day of eating is not going to make or break your long-term goals. Just put it into perspective, you know, recognize that it's difficult, give yourself credit for trying, you know, feel bad for a day if you need to, but then
don't quit on it.
Don't stop. Go back, pick up where you left off, and realize that it's a journey, and if you're doing it for the rest of your life, one bad day or one bad meal is truly not going to make that huge of a difference.
Okay, that makes sense. And your last step, your seventh step, is to aim to maintain.
Right.
Meaning the long haul, or?
Exactly. So people tell me all the time how hard it is for them to lose weight and how much harder it is to maintain the weight that's lost. So motivating yourself over and over again during the maintenance phase is just as important as it was during the weight loss phase.
And how do you motivate? Self-talk or positive self-talk?
Positive self-talk, working with a coach, going back to your original plan, revisiting your goals, remembering why you commit from the beginning. Those are all things that you can do to stay stay committed and stay focused. And for me, I would say for a person to focus on the quality of life that they now have as a healthier, thinner, more fit person, because really that's what keeps I think that's what keeps people motivated more than anything.
Well, Lorraine, I want to thank you for coming by and educating us. This is Lorraine Matthews-Antosiewicz, dietitian and nutritionist over in Edison, and we thank you very much for coming by.